to the Ask As show. This is episode number 39, March 11, 2019. Today's topic is called Marketing for Music Then and Now. And I want to say thank you to Mr. Ayang Daniel Johns, who suggested this topic, actually in conjunction more for my upcoming book. I'm working on a new book that I'm writing, and I just asked people on Facebook what are things that I should cover, and so this was one of the topics suggested. So I thought, why not just kind of do a Facebook Live and talk more about this topic today, and see where we go from there. So I don't have any particular kind of how do I say, a plan for today's thing. I just have a few ideas that I want to share, so that maybe it can help anyone who is thinking of doing music as a career. If you are actually doing music part-time and you're thinking of doing music as a career, and also if you are already still doing music, if you're already doing music and you might have some challenges with marketing your music or getting people to hear it. I am not like a marketing guru or genius or anything like that, but I have learned some things over the years of just promoting shows and promoting albums and selling albums and just like getting the word out. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to share is kind of from the trenches, from just experience, and I will share when there is an example that I can relate from my own life where things that did not work, I'll show you guys things that didn't work, things that I think probably should be avoided, I'll share as well. So let's just aim this episode maybe like 20 minutes or something like that, 15-20 minutes, so not too long. But if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Let me just share one more thing. So basically this, with music marketing, I think the idea is that a lot of people, and it's not just with music marketing, it's just with music industry in general. A lot of people are very, how do I say, kind of upset with the changes in terms of music. People are upset about Spotify. People are upset about what else there are people upset about? People were upset about MP3s downloading. People are still upset about CDs being something that has people not buying CDs anymore. People are starting to buy, like people start downloading first, and then after that, instead of downloading, people are now streaming. So there's a lot of mixed emotions with musicians in terms of technology. I think younger musicians are more open to how the industry is changing now, because a lot of younger musicians grew up seeing YouTubers become famous. And some of the younger musicians I know also have very successful YouTube channels. I've had a YouTube channel for a long time, but definitely not even close to the success of some of my favorite Malaysian YouTubers. They really grow the thing. And I think just meeting some of the YouTubers and talking to them, for example, in terms of marketing their music, marketing their product on YouTube, for example. Waalaikumsalam. Banyak buku ni. Like most of it's my dad's stuff actually. A lot of the books here are my dad's stuff. There's like there's some James Patterson there. There's a bunch of James Patterson actually. Some political stuff, Reagan. There's a sci-fi thing, Insurgent is there. Shakespeare, Harold Bloom Shakespeare. Tash Au's here. Harmony Silk Factory. Bunch of stuff. But my books are kind of on this side. I'll show you guys some of my books. This is actually a really cool book, just talking about it. This is a cool book by Chuck Anderson, 6 Secrets of Guitar Fingering. It's actually a really good book. I don't think he sells the print one anymore, but you can buy it from his website. It's really good. And I got this one, which a friend of mine got it for me. Jazz guitar, fretboard navigation, Bach to bebop, Mark White. There's another one, Dale Bruning. Talking about like marketing, right? Like just the fact that you could show stuff like this on Facebook Live and say that, hey, this book, this is a good one for fingering. I got this in Sweeney I think it's in Sweeney, Singapore. It's really good, Joe Puma. I mean, I knew what was inside the book before I bought it, but it's just nice to have it as a reference. It's really good. Anyways, I have a bunch of books. This is a really crazy book by Miles Okazaki. Really good book. Fundamentals of Guitar. Super geeky stuff. Love it. I really love it. It's so complex. I mean, look at this. There's this crazy thing. Symmetry in an octave. It's mad. It's madness. But let's go back to the topic. I mean, this is kind of cool stuff. But my point is that the fact that we can, the good thing now is the fact that we have social media. The fact that I can connect my earphones to my laptop and start talking to 5 people right now in my living room. Any one of you guys, setiap orang yang tengah menonton ni, you guys have the same ability as I do. You get a good music producer who's flexible to work with. In terms of what, marketing yourself? Music producer is producing the music. They're not marketing the music. The marketing the music is you need to find a marketing person, either yourself or you need to hire a marketer, or you market it yourself. I mean, different people. If you're working, I think the thing is in the past, right? The idea in the past is that it was very difficult to get yourself known if you are not tied up to a label, or if you have a company supporting you in terms of media. Because in the past, you would need to be under a record label. If you're talking about from the artist side, being an artist, you have to be signed to a record label. They have a team. They have A&R, they have marketing, they have sales, they have like a promotions team, all this. Dalif Ali, my man, Dalif Ali, he has such a good question. With social media marketing, printing CDs makes sense. I'll tell you exactly what I think about printing CDs. Yes, it makes sense, but it's I got this from Seth Godin. CDs are no longer the medium of consumption. Ask anyone below the age of 30 whether they buy CDs. Very few. Musicians buy CDs. Some geeky people buy CDs. I buy CDs. I mean, what CDs do I have here? Most recent CDs. I have a Nick Johnston one, which I got when he was here. Sounds of Kites, one of my students. Imperial Decimation. Andy Timmons when he was here. So I buy CDs, but you know, does it make sense to print CDs? I think the idea is this: CDs are no longer the way you want to sell your music as the main medium of consumption. I think you should print it as a collectible. I would still do a CD run. My 2 most recent singles were direct to Spotify. Why? Because it won't. I don't think they will. I don't think those singles, as individual single songs, I don't think my singles will make a lot of money at this point in time, right now. But if I do plan to make an album, that's one thing I want to do this year, is record a new album. I have about like, I don't know, like 8 or 10 records out. I think I would still do a small run, but I'll tell you what I've done. I've basically done most of my CDs as CDR, small runs, as collectibles. So people who want to get my CDs, they want to have it as a collection. It's not the only way to consume my music. You can, I mean, my last 3 albums, which I released in 2015, I released 3 albums in 2015. Postcard dari Malaysia, Postcard dari Shanghai, Postcard dari San Francisco. I sold them as physical CDs, as a set of 3. Most of the time people would buy all 3, some people would buy it separately. So I think printing CDs makes sense, but you only if you have a way of some kind of strategy of selling it. If you have a fan base, to sell them maybe as a set, maybe T-shirt and CDs or something, or CDs with a download code, or CDs and a for you, like that, Dalif, right? I mean, if you had a solo electric guitar album, like maybe a CD with a transcription book, like really nicely printed transcription book as a set. So let's say you're selling it for $20 let's say the CD is 20 Singapore dollars. I don't know how much. I know that it goes anything between 15 to 25, right? Let's say 20 Singapore dollars, and let's say the book you're selling for another 30 separately. You could do a bundle where you have the book and the CD for either $45 or $40, and just do a small run. So I think as packaging it as an offer where you have this limited edition book printed in really nice quality. I mean, if it's really nice quality, you probably want to sell it more than 30 bucks. I don't know, depending how thick it is. But point is, you sell it as a set, the transcription book and the CD. I think that would make it very interesting. Or maybe include, for you, I think include a USB drive with maybe high resolution files of all the jams that you've done, all the backing tracks. That's what or the backing tracks from the album, from the tracks from the album. So that would make it an attractive thing. Not a lot of people will buy it, but if you could sell maybe 50 to 100 of it at maybe $50, if you sell 100 of those at $50, you're making $5,000, 5,000 Singapore dollars. I mean, of course, there's costs and stuff like that. But my point is, this is actually, I'm going to sales. But the point is that it does make sense to print, but only if you have a strategy, if you know why you're doing it. I think a lot of people will print like too many copies. If you're, like, I wouldn't print 1,000 copies of my CDs. Not that I don't think I can sell them. I just don't have space. You see the place here? I don't have space to print 1,000. I might do a run of 100. I might do a run of 300 CDs. I think that would make sense. I think that is something I could sell reasonably fast without keeping stock for too long. I think that's movable. So I think with social media marketing, you have to ask your audience whether people will buy it. But if you make an attractive offer and people really like you as a person, like your music, and been following your work, some people will probably buy. So yes, it does make sense, but I wouldn't print a lot because it's not the main medium of consumption. Most people I know will just, even me, if my favorite artist, for example, one of my favorite guitarists in the world, Julian Latch, releases an album, I'm going straight to Spotify to listen to it. Will I buy the CD? Yes, I will. Will I order it on Amazon? I'll think about it. I'm not too sure. The problem is shipping. Shipping is expensive. So not that shipping cost is the only thing that's stopping me. I still do buy stuff off Amazon because I'm a super fan. I will buy it. I will order it. Would I buy the most expensive bundle? Probably not, because shipping costs are high. But if Julian was performing with his trio in KL or Thailand or Singapore and I caught the show, I'll buy the CD there and then. I mean, the last time I saw him, I actually had the CDs that I bought online and I brought it to him to autograph. So yeah, that's my take on it. So I think right now, yeah, it's physical things, yeah. Dalif has a great question. Yeah, so yeah, you agree. So I just finally saw you had more comments. So my thing is, think of the CD as a collectible for your super fans. And if you happen to realize that, and it depends on the demographics as well, if your fan base is younger, let's say below 30, I don't know how many of them will buy CDs purely to listen. I don't know that many people who have CD players. My laptop doesn't have a CD player. If I needed to find a CD, well, I have 2 CD players in the house, but I don't have like it's not like the old days where you have like a nice hi-fi system where you're going to buy your CD and you're going to put it in and you're going to sit down like, oh, my CD through my hi-fi system, my high fidelity, awesome system. Most people are not. Most people are just going to listen on their phone and through headphones, or they listen through even worse, through the speakers of their phone, or at most, on the laptop, on the speakers. Some people might have like some dedicated speakers, but depending on how crazy they are for music, they might not. I don't have like crazy. I have some monitoring speakers, but I don't have a crazy like hi-fi setup or anything like that. So my point is, look at your audience. So it really depends on your audience. If your audience, let's say you're making music, and most of the people who come for your shows or buy your music are 40 and above, 40, 50, they might buy CDs. They might still just have CD players, and that might be the way they consume. So it really depends on the audience. Really young, probably not. Probably not going to sell a lot. Older audience, maybe yes. So it's not just about whether now is a good time to print CDs still. It also depends on your audience. So really think about what is your music, who is going to pay for it, whether they are used to buying CDs, whether they even want to buy CDs. Like I have some CDs here. For example, I'll give you a really good example here. So I got the Nick Johnston CD because I wanted to get his autograph because I'm a fan. I love his music. Have I played this CD on the CD player? No, I haven't. It's ironic. I listened to it on Spotify, but you know, in case I go to a place with a nice CD player, I might play on a CD player. I like listening on records. I don't have a record player. I don't have no place for a record player. It's not practical. So if I want to listen to something real quick, I just listen to it on Spotify. People are attracted to vinyls, but think about it. Vinyls are a thing, right? Vinyls and cassettes are a thing. I have some cassettes. There's a Singaporean artist that I have her music on cassette. Do I have a cassette player? No, because I wanted to get the download, but it was sold as a cassette thing. I got that years ago. I bought like a cassette thing. And I have records. Do I have a record player? I don't have a record player. Why did I get it? Partly collectible, partly because I like it. So you have people who are outliers like me who will buy records, who will buy CDs, even if I don't play them. I'm a hoarder, as you can see. We hoard so much stuff here. There's so much stuff. So it really depends on your audience. Vinyl is good because vinyls are expensive. That's also good and bad, right? Because if you're marketing vinyl, then you have to do a vinyl run, and that can be expensive. I haven't done a vinyl run, so I don't know how much it costs. I did check it out. Then you have to master your music for record, for vinyl. That's another cost. So you have to consider, if I master for vinyl, and if I do a run on vinyl, will I have enough people buying it that it makes sense to do that? So my biggest advice for that is, if you're going to make records and do actually make a record run, ask the audience whether anyone will buy it before you do it. I mean, it's nice to hold, oh, I got this nice big record, I'm LP, you know, old school. But depends on your purpose. If it's purely ego, you can do a small run and, you know, not worry about selling it. Or you could, if you're doing it for commerce, then print as many as you think you would sell, and then you can sell it at a price where it's a collectible, a limited edition stuff. So I think of it like that. So that's the difference. Like in the past, like I think more of sales or marketing, people were marketing to a few things, and it's still the same now. How do you make money as a musician, traditional artist? You perform shows. You get paid to perform shows. You sell CDs and merchandise. Okay, so you perform shows, you sell CDs and merchandise. What else do? You get licensing deals, or you get sponsorship deals where people like you as a person. They give you a guitar. Maybe they pay you money to use the guitar. I don't think that's the case. Vinyl has, yeah, better. Vinyl actually has flawed sound quality, but you do have a lot more head space. It sounds warmer, literally sounds warmer, because, and it really depends on how you record to as well, or how you master. That's a whole other discussion about fidelity and sound and perception. If an album was recorded analog, I would rather listen to it on vinyl if I could. Yeah, I mean, if it was recorded on my laptop, then you're listening to it on a record. It's kind of funny, but it's okay. You could do that, you know. I would think, you know, listen to music in as close to the original way it was recorded. It was recorded analog on an analog board. If you can listen to it on a vinyl record, do that. So, like I said, you know, in the past, it used to be the whole, like, you have to be signed to a record label. They would have a team. They would push you. They would have marketing dollars, marketing ringgit, marketing whatever the currency is. They would have a system to push you and introduce you. And that system still exists today with major labels where they're producing artists and promoting it. In the past, artist development was more of a thing where you would see more artists getting signed and developed through several albums. Now, I think if you look with a lot of the more major label stuff, they don't even release full albums. They release singles, and they release maybe 4 or 5 track EPs basically, but they still call it albums sometimes, but only 5, 6 songs, because that's more practical than releasing a 10-song album based on attention span nowadays. Then you can release more frequently. Yeah, so those are some of the ideas. So I think what's the main difference? The main difference is now that you don't need a company, a label to promote you. However, the reach that you can get if you are doing it on your own, you need to do more work, because like if you sign under a label, you have a whole team doing the work for you. If you're on your own, T-shirt, something like that. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, right, if you want to make more money from shows, I always, the question I ask now is, I ask artists, especially people I've advised. I have students who have released albums. One of the things I ask, and I do consulting as well. So if you guys are in a band and you happen, or you are a musician, you're performing, and you want to get my idea on things and how to make more money, how to do this stuff, we can do a consulting session. Come and meet me, take a lesson or consulting. You know, it's still my hourly rate. We can talk about specific strategies of what you could possibly do to maximize your returns. That's also a possibility. I mean, if you're doing a show, let's say you do a show, and let's say the ticket's 40 ringgit. Let's say the ticket's 40 ringgit. And let's say it's a split with the venue, meaning maybe, let's say we take something conservative. The venue takes 50%, you take 50%. So let's say the venue takes 20 ringgit, you take 20 ringgit. So one person, you get 20 ringgit. Let's say you're in a band, there's 4 of you. Let's make it simpler. Let's say you're a trio and you have a manager, and it's all from the door, okay? So it means one person, when you get one person in, a band member will get 5 ringgit. Each of the trio will get 5 ringgit each. Let's say for argument's sake right now, the manager will get also 5 ringgit. So everyone gets 5 ringgit per person. You sell, if 10 people come to the show, then you get what? 10 times 5, 50 ringgit. So meaning that if you get 40 people, then you make 200 ringgit per band member. It's not a lot of money, but think about it like this. If you manage to sell merchandise lah, bro. Yeah, if you sell, let's say you sell, so remember, you got 40 people come in, they pay 40 ringgit, each band member in a trio only gets, like say, 200 ringgit. Let's say you sell one t-shirt. Let's say the t-shirt you sell for 60 ringgit. Can you see what I mean? One t-shirt, 60 ringgit. Let's say the CD is 40 ringgit. Let's say someone buys the t-shirt and the CD. You make another 100 ringgit. Even if 100 ringgit, let's say minus the cost, let's say the cost is 20 or something, you have 80 ringgit. 80 divided by 4 means that you're going to make another 20 ringgit. That's like good. You see what I'm talking? So in a sense that if you're doing a show and you do not have any merchandise, you do not have any CDs, you're missing out on a possible income stream. In order to kind of make money, it's good to have CDs for sale, or downloads for sale, or t-shirts for sale, or stickers for sale, something for sale, something extra. Fans will like it because you get something else from the gig if they want to buy, and you can make more money from it. Potentially sometimes from the merch. Traditionally from the merch you make more money than actual ticket sales, unless the ticket is, unless it's a big show or something. So that's the thing. So yeah, merchandising's like that. That's one thing to consider. These are like very, very I like to talk about very, very core things, very, very fundamental things, because these things, even though they're very fundamental, not a lot of people do it. And that's why a lot of people, when they do gigs, they don't really make a lot of money from gigs. Like, I'm talking about normal gigs, not like stadium or concert stuff. Those are a different scale. Those are different things. So just to summarize everything, marketing now and then. In the past, you would have a big company supporting you, but there would be less people signed to those big companies. You would have maybe 5, 10 people, but now you can have 200 different acts in a scene, everyone trying to get attention. So in one hand, you have so many people you need to get attention. On the other hand, you have social media, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Twitter, you have YouTube. You can actually push out your music. And so the idea is that you have direct reach to audience. And so if you are actually very hardworking, you can get your music out to the right audience. There's an advantage there. You can actually promote yourself every single day. But you don't want to just like buy my CD, come to my show, buy my CD, come to my show. That's really boring. But that's a whole different topic in terms of like social media, like using social media. So yeah, so that's my spiel. If you had to summarize everything, in the past you had big labels, big companies, a lot more money, less artists. Now you have more smaller companies, smaller labels. Sometimes a lot of people are just self-managed, or they're just like very lean teams, smaller groups. You have more opportunities, but there's a lot more people. And so you have to get more attention, which means that if you are hardworking, you can get attention. There is a chance for you to go viral if you kind of work at it. in the past that didn't exist. So there are a lot of opportunities now. So you just have to understand that now things are different, and you should use whatever is available now in order to be successful. Don't complain about how it is. Just figure out how it works, because there are people who know how it works. And even if you know how it works, it still takes a lot of work to make it work. You know, it doesn't like magically, I understand social media, I can make it work. You still have to do the work every day. For example, if you're watching me on this show, the Ask Show, I'm on episode 39. This is episode 39. How did this start? From episode 1. 39 episodes later, here we are. So I think I'm covering slightly different topics now. I start off with just guitar and jazz. Now I'm covering more of the music business stuff. But I will still go back to talking about jazz and guitar and things like that. But I think topics like this, like marketing for music, how it's changed and how it's actually empowering. You have the power to promote yourself now. You just have to want to promote yourself and learn. So yeah, so that's the topic. Okay, guys. So does anyone have any questions? I will take a few questions before calling it a night. Ada sesiapa ada apa-apa soalan pasal marketing, social media marketing, or just marketing in general for music? I love all your topics. Thanks, Sisley Brain Stews. You memang supporter tegar. I really appreciate you tengok the show and you selalu comment, betul tanya soalan and semua. I appreciate. So all the things I'm sharing is I feel that these things need to be shared so that more people understand that you can make a living. I want to say this clearly. You can make a living in music. You can have a music career. There are many ways to make money in music. Is it easy? No, it's very hard. Is it impossible? No, it is possible. Can everyone do it? No, not everyone can do it. Not everyone wants to do it. A lot of people imagine they can do it, but it takes a lot of work. The most important thing is to know that you want it, and then you figure out how to do it. It takes a lot of work. Vinny Soren asked a great question. Am I going for Martin Miller in April? I wish I could, bro. I'm not around. I'm traveling. What to do? It's sayang. I already did my travel plans. I already got travel plans lined up. Then I found out the Martin Miller thing. Martin is one of my favorite guitarists from that generation. I took one lesson dengan dia via Skype. I took one Skype lesson with him, Martin Miller, and it's amazing. It was a great lesson. I think we were on Skype for like an hour and a half or something. He's so good. He's such an amazing person. Really beautiful musicianship. I love his stuff on Jam Track Central, JTC. I think his course on improvisation, his improvisation masterclass is brilliant. I would recommend it for everyone. But it's literally a college level improv course. It's like affordable, actually, relatively speaking. I think it's like 40 pounds or 40 euros or something like that. So it's a few hundred ringgit, but you get so much in the course. But it's a lot of work. I went through the material. I love it. I told Martin I loved it. I think he's a genius. He's just a really hardworking, musical, amazing musician. So go for it. But I can't go for it because I'm not around. Sayang. Maybe next time. So any other questions besides whether I'm going for Martin Miller? Unfortunately, I'm not going for Martin Miller's thing. Some more, it's like Martin Miller and Tom Quill. Both of them, my God, both of them are monster players, man. What I would, really wish I could go. Not sure about your schedule of time. You should go, man. Martin Miller and Tom Quill. If I'm in KL, I would move things around for me to go. If you can go, go for it. I'm just not in KL. Literally just not in KL, and I already made plans, so I literally can't be there. A bit sayang. But that's life. Sometimes you don't get it. Hey Yoris, how you doing, man? I hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you in a while, bro. Thanks for tuning in. Yep, two of them together. Yeah, man, Tom Quill, Martin Miller. Both are amazing musicians. Amazing, amazing, amazing musicians. Plus, they're using a guitar that has my name on it. Ibanez, AC, as. It's just like slightly present lah. Padahal it's nothing to do with me. It's just that's the name of the model. But I haven't tried those guitars. I'm a little bit nervous about trying them because if I try them, then I like them, then I feel like I need to get one plug in. If I don't try them, I don't know how it is. Ah, okay. Let me answer a question you. Okay, Isli Brain Stews tanya, bagaimana perasaan As bila bekerja sama dengan artis-artis hebat? Macam mana dia orang bekerja? Okay, in general kan, like when I work with artists at a very high level, what's the recent one? I did one gig with Z Avi, and Z is such a sweetheart to work with. She's like she's super artistic. So dia memang take care. They take care of the art, the music. They memang take care, and it was very nice to perform with her. She's like very into music, very artistic person. So that was a great experience playing with Z, even if it was just for one song. And but I really enjoyed performing with her. I hope I can do more stuff with Ziabi. That's something new. Who else did I work with? I did some performance with Adam Rafferty a few years ago by now, and he's just awesome. He's such a great musician. He was very very kind. Most of these people kan yang dekat artis-artis hebat ni kan, dia orang very down to earth tau. Macam Bumblefoot kan, bila I perform untuk as a guest kan, jamming dengan Bumblefoot that was under John Lau. It was me, Syam Kamikaze, Adiu, Wan Gigi. I think Jamie Wilson was there as well. So Bumblefoot is super down to earth. Dia baik, dia macam chill aja, lepak. Dia tak ada belagak, dia tak ada sombong. Dia just like very very nice person tau. So when you consider the fact that he's played with Guns N' Roses and he's like done all this amazing stuff in his career, he's like super laid back. So I did that performance with him, guest lah, macam it's like I guess like a collabo / jam thing. We played on 2 songs. Lepas tu there was another opportunity for a private event where I was also jamming with him and Syam Kamikaze juga, which is really nice as well. And he's just a nice guy. So that was really awesome. Who else did I work with that was really really fun? I worked with the two Grammy winners yang I worked masa dekat US was Max Parka and Flaco Jimenez. Both also amazing musicians. A lot of them are just really chill when you meet them, and they don't tak belagak tau. I think the higher you are in terms of your career success, most of the people I've met who are very very successful, they're very down to earth. They're very chill. I think the thing that I feel, my perasaan, I rasa satu, I rasa bersyukur lah I get the opportunity. I feel very grateful I get the opportunity. The other thing is I feel that I need to always bring my A game to the opportunity. I want to make sure I'm practiced, I'm well rehearsed, my equipment's working, I'm playing at the best that I can. Macam main dengan MPO juga, main orchestra, right? So sometimes macam the Final Fantasy gig concert dekat MPO, sama lah. You have to really play your best, learn the music, and then just be as professional as possible. And it's a great opportunity, and I memang seronok lah. Nervous lah juga kan, nervous going there like, oh, am I prepared apa semua. Tapi the point is that if you do all the work, I find that I still get nervous tau sebelum show. I still get nervous before the first rehearsal contohnya. Tapi I think as long as you know secara jujur, you know that you've done the work, you dah practice, you dah prepare material, you dah done all your homework as much as possible. Like I have a recording session coming up, and tomorrow I'll just be practicing the material lah. And so as long as you do the work, bila you datang, you prepared kan. I think that's the most thing. You have to be very honest with yourself that you've done the work, and that's important. Mine is semangat also love Ibanez guitars, yeah. Ibanez, they make great guitars, man. I mean, I have a Arcore. I have an Ibanez Arcore. I have an Ibanez Arcore for my jazz guitar that I got masa I dekat US dulu. I still have it, red Arcore. Really nice guitar. I like it. Stock pickups. Didn't change it. Okay. So guys, ada apa-apa soalan lain? Is there anything else I can answer for today? Okay, kalau tak ada, kejap. Let me just, I want to cut and paste a few things. Kejap. Just a moment. So a few things though. If you guys like what you guys are, if you like watching me and you think the Facebook Live thing is very cool, please do me a favor. Tolong click heart, click heart, thumbs up, semua. Share this video with your friends. Kalau you tahu anyone of your friends yang mungkin boleh benefit from the video, tolong tag diorang in the comment section. Share the video. Jangan kedekut tau. Like, just share this video, this information, this knowledge is already on my Facebook. I want to get as many people to watch it. Sebab kalau tidak, I cakap, and let's say only a few people watch it. Right now, I mean, it's anything between 5 to 10 people right now watching it off and on. But, yeah, man, thumbs up. Thank you. Thanks, Joris. I really appreciate it. So just tag your friends who, play music or would benefit from it. That really means the world to me, So if you can tag your friends, it really helps me out a lot and can help your friends as well. The other thing is, if you like what you see on my Facebook thing, yeah, thanks so much for the hearts. I really appreciate it. So if you like what you see on Facebook, I'm also on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram. I'm also on YouTube. Yeah, thank you. All that. Yeah, all the emotions. So follow me to get all these other places. To get Twitter, I often have been experimenting with threads. So I've been doing like longer posts on Twitter and posting different things yang you tak nampak on Facebook. I post some stuff on Twitter that I tak post on Facebook. I post some stuff on Facebook that you never see on Twitter. So I post different things on the different platforms. So please, if you are on Twitter, follow me on Twitter as well. If you are on Instagram, I post different things on Instagram as well, and I do some Instagram story stuff there. Especially when I have events or shows, you'll see a lot more like stories as well. And on the YouTube channel, there's hundreds of videos on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. The other thing is, if you like what you see with my work, then kalau you berminat nak belajar jazz guitar, there's a few ways, One of the ways to study is just to message me, and we can do lessons in person here. You can literally be here and we can work one-on-one. If you want to learn more about music marketing, social media, kind of the music business and music career side, we can do that as well. I've had students from Singapore who studied this with me. I have students in US who have studied this with me. I know, right? It's interesting that I have students I have a student in US where we're talking about music career development. So if you're interested in developing your music career, developing your craft, jazz guitar or fingerstyle guitar or ukulele, you can take lessons with me directly one-on-one. Just send me a message. You can explore that. I am not, well, relatively speaking, I'm not cheap, but you're going to get really quality lessons. I'm definitely more affordable than going to Berkeley. So you're going to get high quality lessons. I will give you all the information, all the knowledge I can get. I will give you as much as I can. You just have to do the work and show up. The other way is you can check out, if you don't want to, are ready to take lessons with me, you might want to get one of my ebooks. I have a bunch of different ebooks. I have 5 ebooks out right now. 3 of them are on jazz guitar. Beginner, the new one, 60 Beginner Jazz Guitar Licks, just came out. It's a great book. I'm very proud of it. I think it will help out a lot of beginner jazz guitarists, people yang macam minat nak belajar jazz tapi tak ada, no idea where to start. You can learn the licks in that book. I just posted the link to the bookstore, so check that out. Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, I appreciate that, Isli. Yeah, I think this is the thing that I'll tell you the truth. I pernah jumpa musician kan, dia macam sombong tau, dengan beginner macam rendah macam tu. And to me, beginner is like quite suci tau. It's like quite a special thing to be a beginner because everything is new. It's so exciting to be a beginner because there's all these possibilities. You memang tak boleh main kan. So you belajar A chord, like wow, so nice, It's actually a very beautiful stage to be a beginner. It's bukan benda yang you have to be embarrassed to be a beginner. I'm a beginner at many other things. Music bukan lah. Music I've been playing for like the past 23 years. I've been playing music for the guitar for the past 23 years. So music, I'm not a beginner, but other things in life, I'm a beginner. So I think beginner is a really special stage. You know, you shouldn't be embarrassed about it. And that's why I tak rendahkan, tak kisah. So for beginners, you can also get my ebook, which is for beginner jazz guitar chords. Itu untuk complete beginner. If you've been playing for a year plus, that book, you shouldn't get that book because you probably know all the chords in that book. But if you're a complete beginner, that might be a good book to get. It's in my bookstore, ebook store. You can check that out. If you play any other instrument and you want to learn some jazz, actually the guitar ones will work for other instruments. You just have to read standard notation lah. Kalau tak baca standard notation, then it's a bit tricky. So that's what I have to say. And also the new course, new guide I have is kalau you nak belajar jadi cikgu guitar, if you want to become a guitar teacher and make side income, I have a new course that came out in January. It's called How to Start Teaching Guitar Lessons. It's about macam mana nak buat duit by teaching guitar. What you need to know, what you need to think about, how do you plan, how do you promote yourself, a bit of strategy. There's a worksheet, there's an audio lesson, you dengar, you buat the worksheet, you get some ideas on how to start promoting yourself and making some side income from teaching. So if you want to teach guitar and you don't know how to start, check out the guide. It's really good. It's basically the same stuff that kalau you datang belajar dengan I one-on-one, I will still be going through material tu juga. So it's way cheaper to just get the guide and work through the guide. And if you need more help, you can come and take lessons with me lah. That's also possible. Cool. Thanks, Izzy. You guys are sweet lah. Yeah, I really appreciate all the love, man. I really appreciate all the love. The other thing, I'll ask one more thing. One last thing I'll ask, just into while we're at it lah. If you guys enjoy the stuff kan, the other thing you can do to help me out, berapa banyak benda yang nak minta, but I'll just point it out lah. You guys can leave a review for me on my page actually. There's on Facebook ni ada benda nama dia reviews. I'll give the link. You can, if you enjoyed this, please consider writing a review here. Thank you. So if you enjoyed this, you know, please consider writing a review on the review section. Well, bro, teachers should be calm sikit if I'm a beginner. I went to organ class, a few classes, teacher shouting. I quit after a few years with guitar. Organ was not my thing also, I guess. Yeah, you know, I don't like this screaming business, you know, like macam cikgu menjerit, nak apa kau tak main? Like, I mean, chill guys, this music, you know, it shouldn't be scaring people off, you know. I think there is a point, if let's say like 1 whole year you tak practice or 6 months you tak practice, maybe you need some kind of encouragement lah, or maybe it's not for you. But I don't really subscribe to the whole like scare and hitting people and stuff like that, abusive kind of teaching. I think it's not really teaching. I think it's just you know, it's just like benda yang mengarut. I think you should actually teach. I mean, you should be honest about things, you know, not sugarcoat. If you want to teach people to become professional musicians, you have to tell them the truth. If they kind of suck, you have to tell them they suck. But you have to also give them a way of how to sound better. You know, you can't say that, oh, you sound horrible. That's not helpful. If you say, okay, that one doesn't sound good, why don't you try this and try this and try this? Why don't you use this? Why don't you listen to this guy? Why don't you check out this book? Why don't you do this exercise? Why don't you do this? I think a teacher should inspire you, number one, inspire you. Number two, guide you. And number three, give you exactly the things that you need right there and then. For that point in time, they give you the tools so you can get to the next level and so you can improve yourself. That's the whole point. If not, why are you paying so much money for lessons if the teacher is just going to scream at you and not tell you how to improve? Which is why I hate bad teachers. I hate bad teachers. With a vengeance, I hate bad teachers because I cannot stand for bad teaching. Because I know that sometimes you get bad teachers, you stop playing. It's not your fault. It's the teacher's fault for not being a good teacher, for not being responsible, for just screaming at you. I think you need to have motivation, motivation, inspiration, give the right material at the right time, you know, guide you, be a guide. Really important, really important. I'm super passionate about that. Lepas tu tak ada tanya. Mengarut lah kalau dia menjerit je. It's like serious, bro. If you want to learn, right, you have to find someone who actually you can trust them, which is why I tell my students, right, my private students, I will do my very best to help you to get to where you want to get. Now, if I cannot do that for you, if let's say I don't have the information, I will tell you to go to someone else who can, you know. If I say, man, I don't know how to teach you any better than this, just go study dengan Martin Miller. I'll be honest about it. I'll say that, man, this one, go study with Martin. Martin teaches very Skype. But there are things that I can teach that maybe Martin doesn't cover. I have a friend, now consider friend, Ben Higgins. He's a great shred guitarist. There's some things that I teach he doesn't teach. There's some things that he teaches I don't teach. And so we are all in the scene together, in this music scene together. So we all can contribute satu benda tau. We can all contribute something to each other. It's not like, you know, if you make some money, you make money from teaching, like I cannot make any money from teaching, or you dapat student, I cannot get student. It's all, we're all in this together, and I think there's opportunity for everyone, but you have to be good. He's only interested to play. He was only interested for me to play what he was teaching. Yeah, I think you may have just gotten a bad teacher, man. Some teachers are not very flexible. They teach the same thing to every student. I'm not that way. I teach different things to different students at different times, depending on their level. So my classes are very personalized. So like, I mean, like something like this Facebook Live thing, I'm saying in kind of a general thing, but when you ask me specific questions, I answer them lah. So macam tu lah. Okay guys, my laptop is heating up a bit. Didn't need to go off. But thanks so much for watching. This is episode number 39. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free, you can message me and ask, or you can just leave questions on the section here. I am working on a new book, so the topic I'm talking about today, some parts of it will probably make it into my new book about, I'm writing a book about building a music career, making a living as a musician. So if you guys have any suggestions on what topics I should cover, you can also comment on the post just before this one on my page. There's a bunch of people giving suggestions there as well. So stay tuned for that book. I hope to get it out, finish it. I hope to finish it probably this year lah, sometime this year. I'm working on a few books, but that's one of the books I really want to finish and release it so you guys can benefit from it. Yes. You check out Ben Higgins in YouTube or whatever. He's a great teacher. Yeah, man. Jumpa pada episode yang baru. Yeah, Ben Higgins is amazing, man. If you watch the video on YouTube and tolong type comment, say that, hey, I found out about you from Az Samad. It would mean the world to me. It would mean the world to me. Because Ben is amazing, and I've been promoting him to anyone that I know who's interested in shred. Really good. If you want to buy his lessons, I recommend. He has a bunch of lessons on like alternate picking, on string crossing, on inside picking, outside picking. I bought a lot of them, and they're all really good. Lesson dia tak panjang tau. Lesson dia macam 10 minutes, 12 minutes. It's like 8 pounds or something. So 8 times 6, something like, I don't know. So it's not like super cheap, but it's really good. Semua exercise dia boleh pakai. It will work. So it's really good. Okay, bro. Take care, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Good night. See you guys in the next episode. See you guys tomorrow night. Bye-bye.